Okay, so these are Paul Cook's videos, and I encourage you to go watch these before you continue on with this video. And don't worry, these videos aren't rabbit hole videos or hypothesis, pontification, or conjecture. He's getting this stuff right from the mainstream media that propagated it to us. The main reason I want you to go watch these two videos because I want you to get a really good understanding of the intricacies of this power technology so that you can come back to this video and see the one that I'm going to show after I kill some runtime with Paul's videos here. It's okay if you just watch this rundown, but I want you to go see the details because Paul says a lot of things in that I'm just not, I don't want to take his words. I'm not into stepping on toes. His video is great, so you'll have a good time. And then come back here and you'll have an even better time because I got something to show you on the end here. So we're going to take a quick detour right now, and here it is. So I've mentioned this channel before, Baltimore Fats, and it's interesting that he was saying in this, or maybe I'll just play it for you.
And so I just want to stop it here real quick to look at the pattern that's developing at the top of this as they dance around with these ribbons. You know, I'll be damned if this isn't some form of somatic or energy signature that's being represented here, right? And if these maypoles are put in at certain cross sections of ley lines, and you know, the electricity that could be conducted or whatever energy could be conducted through these maypoles, and you know, I think that's what this dance represents looking at it from above. I mean, this is the energy signature of the maypole, right?
So he was saying that, and I found this image through the Paul Cook stuff that we're discussing. Weird coincidence? So that's the end of the detour, and
so this is Edison next to one of the dynamos. And like I said, it was the first power station in the United States in September. So as always, the station burned down in 1890, destroying all but one dynamo that is now kept in a museum in Michigan. See, that's what I mean. When I found that one in Malta, I was gobsmacked. A generator. It is a device that converts motive power, mechanical energy, into electrical power for use of external circuit. Sources of mechanical energy include steam turbines, gas turbines, water turbines, internal combustion engines, wind turbines, and even hand cranks, dynamos. Before the connection between magnetism and electricity was discovered, electrostatic generators were invented. They operated on electrostatic principles by using moving electricity, charge belts, plates and discs that carried charge to a high potential electrode. Sorry, it's getting a bit technical. I just wanted to help you understand how these work before we move forward with this stuff that I found. Now, when I was doing the research on this, I thought this must be really, there must be something built there before these. And when I did look that, I was looking on Google Earth, I couldn't believe it. Just look at how old this stonework is here. And this is in Spain, by the way. And the name of it is called Jalunta. But look at the stonework, how old is that? That's the same sort of stonework I see in Malta. So it's even got a newer face on the front. But that sidewall, no block is the same size. You've got 3 different size doors. What in the world was going on there? So it is a system of internet-connected pipes carrying pressurised liquid used to transmit mechanical power for power sources, like a pump to hydraulic equipment like lifts or motors. The system is analogous to an electrical grid, transmitting power from a generation station generating station to end user. The idea of public hydraulic power network was suggested by Joseph in a patent obtained in 1812. The patent was obtained in 1812. And I'll tell you another thing about all these power stations, they're all red brick, all of them. And then when I started looking at pumping stations, they weren't red brick. So London's hydraulic power. For the transmission of power beneath the streets of London, there is a network of hydraulic mains carrying water at a pressure of 700 pounds per square inch. So they had a hydraulic water network that supplied a dynamo that had a water motor attached to it. Look at the tools in the background, look how big they are. Mental. Free electricity by the means of power of water. So this is the one in Tower Bridge. So that would make the bridge go up and down. Manchester Hydraulic Station. So these places are all over the shop. And this was one in Antwerp. Now this was a bit freaky because check out the size of these men, check out the size of these blocks, and then check out this transportation. It looks like it should hook onto a horse, but it's for a giant horse. It looks like a chariot without the seating on it. But then blocks must be 5 foot in length, 5 or 6 foot in length, because they're the same size as that guy. 2 guys standing up. And look at the size of the door. What's that, 18 foot? So this might actually be one of the original buildings for this technology. And that's free electricity as well. You don't pay for it, you're just paying for your water. Let's have a look at these little devices. There's not much online either about these. So let's have a little look-see. This is the one I come across. You can have a look. That's the exhaust at the bottom. The Pelton. So that had the Pelton wheel inside. Big machines as well. But these powered washing machines, sewing machines, vibrators. I've got all this to show you. It's just saying what it powers, but it's quite interesting, isn't it? Look, this one has a dynamo on it because it's got no pulleys. But if you pause, you can have a look. It goes into a bit of detail about it, about the different models they've got, because this is from a catalogue. It's incredible. Free electricity from your water supply in your kitchen tap. I knew it was a fraud. I knew all this electric was a fraud. I knew it. And the more I'm looking into it, the more I'm realising. So this is a diagram. This is the design was intended for home construction. Here, the jet of the water points downwards. Here, the motor appears to be geared about 8 times down to rock a developing tray for photographic plates. The water exhaust is then ingeniously used for washing the developed plates. And this little beauty was called a Duchess, and this peels potatoes. Specially designed for accumulators from the cellular tap. Works well on pressure of 45 pounds and over. Best finish, ring oiling bearings, solidity built communicator, complete ready for use with hose. Price £3 each. Hundreds in use. Satisfaction every time. So there you go, it just connects up to the tap. And the dynamo does its magic. And you get electricity. You can see why they got rid of these. Because once you've got this, that's it. You've got electricity for life. free. Right, the cost of your water up at turbine driven dynamos. So these would have been like I did on the last video in power stations, just like this.
Take Paul Cook's stuff and bring it over here and watch this. I think you'll start getting an understanding. And we're on to the next part of this video. You gotta ask a question about this guy. Look what's going on here. And then I want you to go and watch the whole video. Go to his channel. He's not hard to find. You all know how to use the internet. I want you to go watch this whole video, because there's a lot going down in this. And maybe you can't read between the lines that I'm conjecturing. But if you have any questions, just write them in the comment. I'll be glad to discuss it with you. I don't want to make a whole video about this because I live in this area. That's all I'm going to say. So, see you next time.
It'd be a shame, because this engine is exactly as it was in 1866. Lincoln was president when this engine was built. It's all original, all the original bolts, original lagging. Let's see if I've got anything here. I'm going to try and move this. This wheel is 3 tons. Have I got anything? Here we go. Okay, here we go. Well, so much of this, the steam engine's being noisy. You see how quiet it is. All you're hearing is really the wheel going around. And once it gets hot, this bit of noise will quiet down as well. Okay, I can shut this now. This is your governor. I've told this story before, but for people who are new, that's where the expression balls out comes from. Those balls, centrifugal force forces them out. That controls the cam, which slows down so the engine doesn't over-rev and eat itself up. This thing was 125 horsepower in 1860. This is what the Luddites were afraid of. They go in and they smash these engines up because they took work away from craftsmen. This produced 125 horsepower, which was unbelievable back in the day. And this was just seen as a job stealer. You know, how many men could do the work of this, would it take to do the work of this engine? 10? I don't know, but that was a problem. It's a precision piece of machinery. It's all one casting. This thing weighs about 12, 14 tons, I don't know, something like that. This was shipped across the country by horse and wagon. The only thing that comes apart is this wheel. The wheel is in 2 pieces, that's it. So it's a pretty amazing piece of equipment. Thomas Edison used one just like this, a Wright engine, to light up Trenton, New Jersey in 1876 for the World's Fair exhibition. It was the first time an outside area had been lit, and people just went crazy. It literally made nighttime daytime. But the amazing thing is how quiet it is. This engine over here, this is 1832. I believe this is the oldest steam engine in America still running on steam. I could be wrong. I'm not sure. This is what they call a walking beam. These are your, that's your governor right there, your balls out governor. This is your hand throttle here. There was no OSHA, so you walk over, oh, hey, what's this? And then get another worker because they were cheap. But this is what people did before Netflix. They'd come out and, oh, just watch the steam engine for a couple of hours. Pretty much it. Anyway, I just thought you'd get a kick out of seeing both of these operate. There's so much detail in these, and they're beautifully made, and they run forever. See, it ran until 1928, from 1866 to 1928, and then it sat for 50-something years, maybe 60 years, and then I got it, and all I did was put it together, build a fire, and go. Try that with a modern engine. It took 7 tons of cement to get this level. But once it's level, it'll run forever, so the engine doesn't eat itself up.